guys, welcome back. So today I wanted to do more of a more fresh, springy kind of look, but still wanted to do something a little dramatic. So this is kind of my light, springy, dramatic daytime look, and I hope that you guys like it. I really like the way that it turned out, and I also use a ton of new products. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, so we're starting by priming the skin. I'm taking my Too Faced Hangover RX Primer, which is kind of like a moisturizer, but also helps prep for makeup. Then going in with this Fresh Rose Hydrating Gel Cream, just says more moisture. This is a little extra. This is another moisturizer by Fresh. It has a kind of white pearl illuminator in it. Just makes things look nice and glowy. Now I'm going in with my Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. I have not tried this before. It's my first time using it. It's a cool little like twist up stick foundation. I've watched Jaclyn Hill using this for a while, so I finally decided to try it. Now I have the shade Alabaster, and then I'm going in with the shade Blanc, which is a little brighter, just in highlighted areas, just being a little extra. I really bought the wrong shade the first time and didn't feel like returning it. So I always use blending sponges when buffing in my foundation, but it's actually sucking up the product. So I had to switch over to a brush, which I don't like using. It doesn't work for me. I have more dry to normal skin, and it just doesn't make my skin look glowy at all. It clings to dry patches, but I'm buffing that in. This is a Morphe, I think an M431. I'll put it in the description box, but it just wasn't looking amazing. I went in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer per usual in my highlighting areas, and then went to buff it in with the beauty sponge, and it started picking up product once again. But I just continued on, and once the sponge started getting some product on it, it quit sucking up all my product. It was just because the foundation was underneath, and it just doesn't work with the beauty sponge apparently. Setting all the concealer with my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, my favorite powder of life. You guys should know this by now. And then setting with my Urban Decay Naked Skin HD Powder Foundation. I use this shade Fair Cool. They're discontinuing this. Now I'm going in with the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil Bronzer to warm up my skin using this giant Morphe brush, which is really nice to just kind of all over bronze. Bronze? Not bronze. Ugh. And just make sure to take that down the neck, especially if you're a pale AF like me. Now I'm going in with this Laura Mercier Balance and Brighten Powder Foundation. It's just a good shade for me for nose contouring, so that's what I use. Use whatever works for your skin tone. Just buffing this on the sides of the nose, a little bit underneath, and making sure to blend this very, very well. I don't add very much product, and I just move it around. That way it's not too harsh. Going in with the Benefit Precisely My Brow, I use the shade number 2. I'm first going to spoolie through my brows, start doing a nice defined line underneath the brow, and then I'll start filling in with little hair-like strokes. This is kind of my more like natural brow routine, you could say. And then make sure to spoolie out again. Now I'm going in with the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. I've really been liking this for cleaning up my brows, just because it's nice and bright and highlighting. It does stay kind of tacky, but it gives a nice little like highlighted finish. If you don't like that, you can skip it, but this is what I'm using to carve out my brows. I'm just going to tap it out with my finger, and just doing a final comb with my spoolie to make sure everything looks not too harsh. Now I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette and taking the shade Raw Sienna and just buffing this into the upper crease area and then blending it out with a clean brush. Nothing too fancy here. We want to make it kind of simple, just making sure it's nice and blended out. Next, with the same palette, I'm going in with Burnt Orange and just tapping this more on the inner and outer corners, working it into the crease, just to add a little bit of depth and definition to the eye. Again, nothing too crazy. Want to make this easy peasy, and just doing a final blend to make sure everything is nice and blown out. Now this is not intended for your eyes, but this is what I have. I'm using my Benefit Highbrow into my waterline. It just makes the eyes look nice and open. And I'm going back in with that Anastasia Beverly Hills Raw Sienna shade to buff under the lower lash line. Today I'm also trying this Wet n Wild highlighter in the shade Precious Petals. I'm sure you've heard all about it by now, but I wanted to try it on the eyelid just to kind of show you something if you didn't want to use the glitter that I'm using in a minute. But of course I wanted to be extra, so I'm taking this Stila Magnificent Metals in the shade Kitten Karma. Looks like it's for the lips, but it's actually for the eyes. I'm just going to tap this lightly on the lid and then kind of tap it out with my finger. That way it's nice and dispersed and not too harsh, since this isn't like a super dramatic look, but we want a little drama. I went in with this dark brown eyeshadow from the same palette just to tap on the lash line to help kind of disguise our lash band if you're going to be adding lashes. As always, I set my face with Max Fix Plus and then went in with some mascara. Like always, I'm using the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara. The lashes I used today are pretty much everything. These are the EYELURE lashes. They're like a faux mink lash. Never tried them before and they are amazing. So pretty, fluttery. I'm in love. And then I'm taking this Makeup Forever Starlight powder in the shade 13, which again, recommendation from Jaclyn Hill, and holy-ish, look at that inner corner highlight. Yes. Now I'm going in with that Wet n Wild highlight for my face. It is super pretty, and as you can tell, with no effort, it is super metallic and just everything you'd want in a highlight. However, upon blending out, it's way too dark for me. It kind of gave like a rosy tint. So I ended up adding that Starlight powder, and holy shit, do you see this? Okay, whoa. That is intense. It's like a mirror on my face. Scary, but look, I just blended it out with a clean brush and amazing glowiness. I can't wait to keep using this all over my face. Yes! Now I'm going to put some soap on my brows. If you don't know about that, I have a video all about it. That's what I'm going to use to set these brows. To add a little bit more definition to the face, I'm going in with the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder in the shade Translucent, just to do a baked beard on my face, like I tend to do. Adding some of my mascara to my lower lashes, and then I also tried this Wet n Wild Catsuit Liquid Lipstick in the shade Rebel Rose. I didn't have it on very long because I ended up adding a gloss, but I really like it so far. I can't wait to keep trying it and test it out. I buffed off my baked beard because you don't want to live your life with that. And this is the final look if you like a matte liquid lip. But if you prefer a gloss, I highly recommend the Bare Minerals lip gloss in the shade Groovy. You can just kind of add it to the center, buff it out, and it just makes it like more of a pinky nude. But I hope that you guys liked this look. I'm wanting to do something a little bit more colorful and dramatic in my next video, but just want to pop on with something light and fresh for spring, but still dramatic, because that's what I do. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I always appreciate it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Going to be doing this really spring, just trying to, wanted to turn down my lights so you guys could see that glow. Holy shit. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.